What's up, everyone? If you're here, that means you made a decision to come back and watch dive number 2. That's the best decision you ever made. So let's get right into it. Here's the profile, like I always like to show. A little shallower, a little warmer this time. That 66 degrees on max depth is a little deceiving, as you can tell from the graph. It actually got down to 61 for a substantial amount of time. I kind of wish this would show me the coldest temperature, not necessarily the temperature at max depth, especially because I've said many times before, the thermometer on your dive computer isn't an instantaneous reading. It takes time to even out. So, but anyway, even though the water was warmer this dive, I was actually colder. So explain that to me. We basically just did a wall dive. I'll show that in the next segment. But it was a good Mermet cruise. Didn't really see a whole lot, unfortunately, but lots of walls, lots of rocks. Stay tuned for that. Okay, here's the dive route. Just like before, we started on platform 39. Walked our way down to the old primary dock. Jumped in the water. With a capital J. We descended down on platform 1. Oh, by the way, if you hear birds and things in the background, it's a beautiful day, so open my screen door up. I think it adds to the ambiance. Just hope I'm not annoying the neighbors, that's all. Back to the dive. So we descended onto platform 1, played with some gators and a underwater shower radio. Filed the platform to 2 to 3. Discussed with my buddy pre-dive if we wanted to dive down to this 85-foot platform, and we both decided no. We were trying to stay a little warmer this time. So we swam over this one, kind of dove down here a little bit. There is a suspended, wait a minute, is it this one? Truck bed, no. There's something suspended no, it's not the deep dock, sorry, seems like it is right here. Is this a truck? It's not 35 feet down, though. Not the thing I'm thinking about. I don't know. Maybe there's something there not on the map, but it's not new, so. I don't know. There's something around in here, I think. You'll see it in the video. But then we just kind of followed the wall. Nice, leisurely pace. Now that I'm looking at this map, it makes sense, because I was actually checking my compass a few times. And I saw a direction of northeast, and I'm thinking, northeast, how are we going northeast? Because I knew that it's kind of laid out north is this way, and I felt like that's the way we were going, but didn't really realize how much of a notch it goes down here, I guess. So yeah, if you're going that direction, that's definitely northeast, so that makes sense now. I'm not exactly sure where we turned around. It was time-based, so I think 25 minutes into the dive, we did the turnaround signal. Also, that's how you coach a challenge in the NBA game, but it's neither here nor there. Turned around and descended up a little bit. As you saw in the profile, we kind of stayed at, 25, 30 feet on the way there, and probably 25, 20 on the way back. That was about it. Unfortunately, didn't see much in terms of fish. No spoonbills. Most of the fish we saw were hanging around the platforms at the beginning and the end, and I think this is one of those dives where I pushed the button to turn the camera on, thought I was turning it off, so one of these segments might be really long, looking into nothing. Might fast forward through that, but we'll see. Stay tuned for some hot rock wall action. Alright folks, welcome back. What I was trying to do here was give a 360 view of the quarry, but the bane of my diving existence, the camera is tilted a little too far down to really see anything. Plus, I thought I was waiting on Terry. Turns out he was waiting on me. Head's a little higher this time around. Terry's ready to go.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. Down we go to the platform. There's 3 main training platforms. two of them are like 15 feet and one of them's 20 feet maybe. Are they all 15 feet? I don't know. I should know that, but I don't. I could look at the map real quick and figure it out. It doesn't matter. They're down there. You can see them. And Mermet also loves giving me copyright strikes with all the music they play. You know, one day when I get to... I don't know how many views you need before YouTube starts paying you, but it's obviously orders of magnitude more than anything I'm going to get. So. Nice little octopus over there. Yep, we'll catch you next time. Thought there was a... Yeah, there it is. A radio. It's on. Maybe that's where the music's coming from. I don't know. My tuning knob didn't really turn. And check it out. Oh, well, I thought we were going to check it out. There were gators on one of these platforms. Is it this one, or it might be the next one? Oh, it looked like we passed one up there. Platform 2. Let's go. Buddy check. There he is. And yes, I have been to Mermet several times where you cannot see platform, or you cannot see the platform, one of the, the next platform from the one you're on. So it's a little clearer today. You can see this platform from the other one. Not always the case. In fact, there was some coursework going on here. Not going to get a good look at it, but she was, or I think it was she, the student. You can see the reel there. Student was tying that off to the SMB, and yeah, that's something we did in Cozumel. If you look back at some of my old videos, you'll see it. You're like 15 feet down, you're ready to call the boat, tie your reel off to your SMB, pop the SMB to the surface, and you gotta... Oh, yeah, here's the gators. It's kind of a tricky process. Mine was oral inflated, so I had to actually drop the regulator out of my mouth, blow it up, let it shoot to the surface while it's unreeling, so you can't grab the reel. And while you're doing that, you gotta get your regulator, put it back in your mouth. It's a lot to think of with the fear of drowning ever present without the regulator in your mouth. But yeah, those gators, those are the only gators you're gonna find this far north. I don't think gators could survive in Mermet. Maybe only like 2 or 3 months a year. I don't know. Even at its peak, the water doesn't get above like 75. Yeah, so this is the thing I was talking about, suspended from the surface. If this is on the map, I was not seeing it in the map segment. This is definitely not a truck 45 feet down or whatever. I think it's supposed to be an airplane. Is this an airplane? I think it's an airplane. Yeah, I saw it. I was just deviating from the dive. And, Terry, get me back on track here. Yeah, none of the airplanes in Mermet have wings, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, okay, here we are. Meat of the dive. Get used to it. This is what you're gonna see. Rocks and rocks and more rocks and sticks, and there's some plants growing on that one at least. Yeah, I did cheat a little bit. I've got a 5-minute segment in here, 2 GB file. That's the time where I thought I had the camera off and it was really on the whole time. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Usually I can hear this thing beep pretty good. Maybe I just haven't... Well, no, I was wearing a hood when we went dry suit diving in March. I don't know. I just couldn't really hear the beeps for some reason. Got to check the volume on that. Maybe you can adjust the volume, and I did something stupid, got stuck in a state where it got quiet or something. But yeah, there's a few overhangs in here. Hold on, let me check my... The end crept up on me last time. We're not anywhere close to the end, but I gotta just look at my playlist to make sure I know what video I'm on here. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. Get your popcorn ready. I was debating whether to include the 5-minute segment or not. I think I'm going to, just for the sake of Terry, because he was on this dive. He might be interested to reminisce one day. For the regular watching person, that's probably going to be extremely boring. But you know, there's not a whole lot happening in any of these, so yeah, this is just what I do. I took all this footage, so I want to throw it up somewhere, even though there's not a lot of exciting things happening. The hope was, this part of the quarry usually has spoonbills, and that was kind of the hope, to swim along this wall and check for spoonbills, and it's possible that a few flittered by us and we didn't see them. As have you noticed, I do spend an extraordinary amount of time staring at the wall when we do wall dives. That stick was just barely suspended there. Thought about ripping it down, but you know what? It kind of landed in that cool spot, and gonna leave it there for the next person to find. You know, knock on wood, one thing I've never seen in Mermet, I don't think, are those zebra mussels. Those are a big-time invasive species, so we go diving down in Arkansas. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss that dive this year. But yeah, you go down there and you can see zebra mussels everywhere. Sometimes. The water level, I think, has a huge determination on whether they live or die, because I think if they get too shallow or too deep, you know, they can't relocate quickly enough, and they can die. But they're an invasive species. Yeah, I remember here, I got bored looking at the wall, you know, I thought I'd check out Terry. There you go. Got the buoyancy right, Terry. Good job. He actually, he said he was having a little trouble in the first dive, so he adjusted some trim weights on his tank, I believe. He added some weight higher up. Something like that. I'm sure he'd tell you all about it. But, looking good, Terry. And we're looking at some leaf-covered rocks here. So here's my compass. So we're going, look at northeast right now, more east than north. And I'm thinking, how are we going northeast? I thought going this direction in the quarry was north. But after checking out that map, you know, it makes sense that we could be turned this direction. That still seems a lot more east than north, though. I don't know. Maybe this just particular jut in the rock is going that direction. You know, it's a very zoomed in snapshot, not the big picture that I'm looking at on the computer. But I was saying something. Oh, zebra mussels. Yeah, I don't think I've seen them in Mermet yet. Yeah, at the marinas down in Arkansas, they got big signs everywhere to, you know, wash your boat off and wash your stuff off before and after getting in the water, I guess. Certainly before. Because they're trying to eliminate, you know, those invasive species, but sometimes they're not all bad, I guess. The jellyfish in Mermet are invasive, and everybody loves them, so. Yeah, there are freshwater jellyfish in this quarry. The only time of the year I've ever seen them is in the fall, so I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to that. I didn't see them for years, and then I came here for, I think it was my search and recovery dive, CERT, which was in the fall, and they were everywhere. Man, they were just everywhere. If you go back and dig up those videos, you'll see them. Really fabulous, man. I was awestruck. They're about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bigger. And they're tiny, and as far as I know, they don't sting you. They're just pulsating along, and man, I didn't even know freshwater jellyfish existed until I saw them in here, or read about them first, and eventually saw them. Yeah, now I've resorted to playing with the falling dirt and debris because there's just nothing else to see down here. That's pretty cool, though. Yeah, I was starting to seek out floating leaves or suspended leaves in the water because I was looking for something, man. I gotta find something. This might be right around. Hold on, what video am I on? 4716. Well, here's a leaf action. Yeah, still a ways to go. About halfway through. You have to power through. We haven't hit the 5-minute bonkers one yet either. 5-minute accident. The color balance on this GoPro still cracks me up. So it's like green and blue. So now it's green. Yep. Time for some meow sauce. Yeah, I vaguely remember doing this. Yeah, good little Terry in there. Alright. It's never good selfie material, really, going from the bottom and looking up because, you know, the light is above you, not below you, so it's always backlit when you're doing that. That one looks a little better, actually. That's right. Oh yeah, a little suspended something there. So, you know, this color looks perfect. This, you can't even tell them, and then it goes back to green. Yeah, I don't know. I've decided not to alter the color balance in the video. I played with that a couple of times. First of all, it's kind of a pain. Yeah, I love these suspended leaves. It just, I don't know. It just looks very peaceful to me. Moment in time. Oh, here we go. This is the part where I thought the camera was off and it was really on. So, if I run out of things to say, I might just shut up and fast forward this. But, yeah, like I was saying, the color balance, at least how you do it in Caden Live, I think they want you to pick what's supposed to be a white item. So if you're in the ocean, that's pretty good if you got a white sandy beach at the bottom. I tried a few in Cozumel for the deep dives because, you know, the deeper you go, the less light you lose, or the more light you lose, rather. And yeah, you get down to 100 plus feet and it's just, everything's blue. But here, especially in the in lakes, I feel like the color balance, the GoPro just can't figure it out. It'll just pop between blue and green, so there's that, and if you fix it for one, it doesn't look good on the other, so I had that problem. Occasionally, it looks pretty good. Like, if I get close, of course, we're not that deep, that's why. But the other reason I don't mess with it is because of my light, you know, my torch. Anytime I shine white light on an object, you know, you get the real color. And if I fix color balance for non-light sequences, it'd screw up the lighted sequences. And now if I really wanted to do it right, I'd probably fix it for the non-light and not do anything for the lighted. And then we're talking about a lot of editing, and, you know, that's just... I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend that much time doing it. So if I was getting paid, you know, if I had 16 million viewers, maybe I'd spend a little more time in these videos. Man, I'm just throwing these up. Yeah, no one's going to watch this. It don't matter. I can nerd out a little bit for a second. So, if you watch my first video, you know, I talked about the new graphics driver I installed to help me with hardware decoding. Turns out that was fantastic. That did the job. Because before, when I had the CPU recording audio and decoding video, I would get audio lag throughout my recording. You know, by the end, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of recording, you get substantial lag between what I was seeing on the video and when the audio actually got recorded, so I'd have to manually go through and piece it together. That actually got a little bit easier as I refined my process. But still a pain. Still shouldn't have to do that. And man, it's like night and day now. I recorded the audio for that first video, and boy, it was just synced right up with the video. So yeah, when the CPU only has to handle the audio decoding, then or the audio recording, then it seems to stay in lockstep with the video. And that's awesome. So happy to see those results. About to say, because I paid all this money for this new computer, and, you know, it's not like I got a super box, but it should be able to watch a video and do recording at the same time. So all good there, finally. I'll say the one caveat to that is These videos I'm doing for diving are only 1080p. Should be at 60 frames a second. It's supposed to dynamically change its frame rate depending on how much light it's getting. I don't know if it actually does that or not. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever actually flipped to a lower frame rate and lower light. Maybe. But yeah, the reason I use 1080p and not 4K is because of the light problem. You know, tropical warm water would probably be fine, but where I do most of my diving here, it's lower light, bad visibility, and if I go to higher frame rate, it's just going to get darker and darker. Higher resolution frame rate too, but this is 60 frames a second, like I said, it's supposed to be, and I think it's pretty good. So, but the other reason is battery. So 4K, shooting 4K sucks down your battery a lot more. I've got like 10 GoPro batteries now, but obviously it's not like I can change one underwater mid-dive, so you get one battery per dive. it's gotta last. I've done a few dives using the 4K, and you know, that might be a debate. I pretty much throw everything up that I record. Obviously, if I was professional, you wouldn't do that. They cut and produce, and a lot of it would get cut out. I could start by just not taking as much. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. If you guys really want to see 4K video instead, let me know in the comments. I could probably make that happen. But yeah, I talked pretty much for that whole 5 minutes, so no Benihana time for you. Sorry, you're getting all 5.5 minutes of this clip. Yeah, I'm about to reach up because I want to take a video of something, and I figure out, uh-oh, camera's been rolling the whole time. Whoops. Not the first time, won't be the last time. Alright. We are getting back close to the insertion point. I know that because that's where the grass grows here. At least that's one place where it grows. And the music's getting louder too, so... I'm still not sure where those speakers are. That could be a Mermet dive. Figure out where those speakers are. Yeah, I don't know. Sound underwater, though, that might be tough. Because, you know, when you're on land, you hear a sound, you kind of know where it's coming from. That is very much more hard to judge underwater. Obviously, you can tell, you know, loudness, but direction... I don't know. I think the reason is, this is my guess, I don't know if this is true or not, but sound travels a lot faster underwater, so sound is actually pretty slow in the air. Oh, there's a fishy feather. And I'm sure your brain is probably kind of wired to do time difference of arrival. If you get sound in one ear, in both ears, you know, it's probably going to arrive at a different rate. You know, different times, and your brain can probably kind of do that calculation on... you know, kind of do that calculation. Also, I guess you can get the idea if it's louder in one ear than the other, but underwater, it's just very tough to tell where the source of sound is. And I suspect it's because the velocity of sound is much faster underwater, and your brain isn't really adept at doing that calculation to alert you to the direction. That is my unprofessional guess. But here we are. Made it back to the platform. Yep, I decided to give this fishy a little tap-tap with the putter. Yep. I think another fish swam by while I was doing this. Oh. Maybe he didn't like the abuse his friend was receiving here. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, there he is. Hey, buddy. You recognize your friend on the platform there? Oop. Oh, no. All right. Well, enough of that. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna take one more look at him. Alright, I'm keeping a closer eye on this time. This is the second to last video, so we're not going to get stuck. I got stuck at the last one because I wasn't paying attention and was talking, and suddenly it ended. So, yeah, I kind of broke away from Terry. I was going to swim through this until I realized, uh-oh, not swim through. Alright. Yeah, I kind of left you, Terry. Sorry. I was not being a good dive buddy here. Not only did I leave you, but I fell behind and dropped out of your field of view. So if you look back, you wouldn't have seen. Uh-oh, where is he? Nope, not over there. I just barely saw him up by the boat here. This is a cabin cruiser, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, so I finally got a chance to get to try out these new fins, really. So I got some fins. If you watch my Miami video, Miami dive video this year, I explained to you how horrible I was trying to swim into the current. So finally got some decent fins, and I had a few sprints. Terry wants to go up. I want to play some bowling balls. And yeah, I felt like they were pushing the water a little harder, but then my right calf cramped up, so nothing's for free, you know. Water's not going to move itself. The fins might be better at kicking it out, but you still got to provide the power, so. Yeah, I got a problem with calf cramps occasionally. I don't know if I'm just swimming wrong, or maybe I just need to be loose. I don't know. But is this the last video? No, we got one more after this. Oh yeah, so this was kind of funny. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna shoot this thing like a basketball back into the tub. So just so happens my Boeing Rec League, my team's three-peated, baby. That's right, 3 in a row, going back to pre-COVID. So you know, this is nothing. This is not. Oh, clanked off the side. Yeah, after tearing my Achilles, that's about as good as I'm shooting these days, and even before that, it wasn't very, nothing to write home about. You know, it turns out basketball is one of those things you gotta practice. I don't practice anymore, so it is what it is. I'm just glad I was able to retrieve it, and it didn't go tumbling down the mountain somewhere. Yeah, this is the back of the school bus. I think this is the Ascent. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's a wrap for Mermet May 2024. You guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna shut up when we get to the top because there might be some banter. There's a platform, you can see it underwater. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to Portugal next. Can't wait. Y'all stay tuned for that.
I think when we turned around, the tide must have been changing.
Must have been what?
The tide must have changed because it was a little slower coming back than it was going up.
It was murkier.
Yeah.
We were kicking it up.